I'm Architect Karan Anand, introducing you to Season 2, Episode 3 of MONÖ Architecture, All Things Design, brought to you by our brand partners Turquoise, Highbeck and Kitchen Studio. Today we have with us Kumpal Vaid of Purple Backyard.
Hi, I'm Kumpal Vaid from Purple Backyard and I'm really excited to be here.
And Nishita Kamdar of Studio Nishita Kamdar.
Hi, I'm Nishita Kamdar, Principal Designer for Studio Nishita Kamdar and POD, and I'm very excited to be here today.
Louis Kahn once mused that even a brick dreams of becoming something more. Today we celebrate two visionary designers who have whispered these dreams, transforming every brick they've touched into something far beyond its wildest imagination. Hi guys, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure. Nishita, you cited Mies van der Rohe saying less is more. And Kumpal, your company, your studio motto is calm, we love creating. So could you guys tell us a little bit about what this concept is, what the psychology behind all of this is?
I think everybody in the industry, when they've graduated, have come across this phase once in their life, where they want to express themselves to such an extent where you don't realize what is the fine line between creating something beautiful and kind of overdoing it. And I think as you practice and grow in your own studio, you start realizing that restraint is such a great virtue to have in design. When does the architect step back so that the story of the house or the restaurant they're doing or the retail space they're doing is actually standing out more than just the design that they have created. So yeah, we've truly, I think after 10 years in practice, started believing that less is more, where we go all out design and then spend a long time just cutting off unnecessary
Noise.
Noise. Yeah.
Calm, we love creating. We recently sort of coined it for ourselves. Why? Because there are so many words that float in the market, right? Minimalism, Japan. This is looking like it's Scandinavian, without really realizing what are we really talking about. And for me, I think home creating any space is about that whole journey, and each aspect of that journey has to be made beautiful for your team internally, externally, and we all know that it's a very high on, it's a challenging profession. And it demands, emotional strength, physical strength, all of that. So with that, we realize that our final outcome looks so serene, looks so calming. So shouldn't the journey also be all about calming, all about that little therav ke saath, let's just keep moving forward. So I think that's where we realize that our design style is about definitely bringing these different schools of thoughts together. Doesn't matter if it's Japan inspired, it's Jaipur inspired, it's I don't know, New York inspired, but it's going to be very calming to sort of be in.
A lot of your work reflects brutalism, and you use a lot of concrete and a lot of stone in your design. So is this a journey that you consciously took, or is it something that came and evolved through your practice? And Kumpal, you use a lot of muted tones, you use a lot of whites, or it is assumed in such, right? So would you like to address our audiences as to what truly is your practice and your understanding of design and how your approach to it is?
I think both Kumpal and me, and probably you also will agree, that every project comes with its own set of kind of demands and requirements and clients' aspirations. A lot of our aspirations, what we want to do in the project. We also treat every project as as the next stepping stone for us, where we want to experiment with something different that we didn't do in the last project. So I think the project is a lot about our greed as well. than just the client's greed. And I think the materials we use, the colors we use
Exactly,
comes
and
from there.
also, you know, your clients sort of bring in their own personal story, right? And that also sort of rules that what you will end up sort of
Yeah.
making the space to be. So, yeah, with every project, I don't think it's us who chooses the narrative completely.
Fair
It's pretty much a great collaboration
dialogue.
of
Yeah.
it's a dialogue.
with the client.
Yeah. And also on the topic of white, right? Yeah, I do love white, but I would have to say that the color scheme has chosen itself, and I think it's a chicken and egg situation. I can't tell which happened first. Now, did I make white spaces first and then the clients came, or the clients came with that requirement and then I did the white? So, but again, I would agree with Nishita that I don't think it's just us. It's that healthy dialogue that one needs to have, and then you eventually arrive at what is it that, you know, a particular
What's best
studio
for the
style
project
or the
as
project.
well,
And I think the best, whatever is best for the project always wins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
fair
that's the base.
Yeah, so the way you are just put into, say, a category is not what it really is, right? It is just that because we have like uploaded a certain type of image or share or got published in a certain way, that's just how the world starts looking at us.
But I would also add that it's a proud moment to kind of realize when somebody looks at some work done by you and, you know, they say that, oh, it's a purple backyard work, or it's a studio Nishita Kamdar work. It's definitely something that we also eventually realize after 10 plus years of experience that, oh, okay, so this is possibly what my work looks like.
Looks
So
like,
yeah.
it's
By the way,
also,
guys,
We don't realize that
we don't
in office,
realize
yeah.
it, yeah.
So
yeah.
when I like do projects, like sometimes like I have got references of your work.
Really?
Like,
Thank you.
It's,
Amazing.
I'm not
It's nice.
That's so
it's a fact.
That is so good to
Yeah,
hear.
and my team knows this, right?
I
And-
especially get very kicked when I see my pictures on Pinterest
Oh
coming
yeah,
up.
it feels
Yeah.
good. Right?
Always.
I remember Pinterest gives a lot of joy, yeah. More than Insta, everything. When you see that, and you're
It's
like,
a
oh, this is
guilty
mine.
pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, when you all were studying interior design and when you were studying architecture, did you feel like this is how it would all be? Like, is this your journey? Did you plan all of this prior, or how did you start your practice?
Okay, so starting practice for me was I got lucky with a great project from my family, and that was my first tryst into like doing my own work and expressing myself on my own. And it is exactly then that I realized that you need to battle your way out, because they've hired you because they know you have something that they don't have, and which is a vision, which is it's not your contracting services, it is the vision that you have which they lack. And I feel that from then till now we've just ensured that every single time we're envisioning a project for a client and building our portfolio, we provide them with things that they've not seen before. We provide them with solutions and with designs that they need but they didn't know existed, and I think that's exactly what has kept us going, I think.
You know, post interior designing and working with a few studios, I quickly realized maybe interiors is not for me. So I quickly went and did like a specialization in visual merchandising. Coming back to Bombay, also then realized there's no market for visual merchandising.
Fair enough.
You know, we're not at that point in our trade that we discuss this as a topic. I also happened to get my first project through one of my family members. Had to slog it out on that first project. Didn't even know that having an opinion was such a basic requirement of our profession, right? Nobody really teaches you that, hey, you're getting paid for your opinion, so
Exactly.
please have one. Don't sort of not give it. So I think along the way, it has made me tougher, bolder, and I know that gets valued by the right client.
And I think sharing opinions only comes with experience, because it's a scary prospect also, right? Where you go up to a client and you're like, no. You know, just saying no is not
It's
easy.
definitely not.
Yeah, so everybody we've spoken to, it takes years and years to learn to say no, put in an opinion.
And also answer their why. That why are you sometimes saying a no?
And that only comes with experience.
Yeah, we're problem solvers.
Yeah,
So we have
a
it's
crazy
not
profession.
a linear profession. It
Yeah.
doesn't go like A, B, C. It could be any sort of rhythm, and then we just
But
decode
which is
and make
great.
it
I think
happen.
that's the reason we don't get bored.
Yeah.
of our profession, because
Yeah.
it's different every single time.
Yeah, it's like a mental math
Yeah.
happening every day.
And the first meetings are always great, right? I mean, you never know who you're going to get and what kind of client you're
absolutely.
addressing.
But I
and-
think like the first vibe that you get from
Yeah,
a client
you can
tell.
is what has to
Yeah.
work the
Yeah.
best.
It's,
Think
you
the
know, there
client
was
will
an
respect you.
interesting client who once told me at the end of the project that why did we go with you over the other two, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, always wanting to know why, right? She's like, because I saw this hunger. I saw this
Yeah.
hunger to do my project, and like you were as excited or even more than I was to do my project.
That's amazing.
So I was like, okay, so maybe that is one quality that one can actually work on. That,
Yeah,
okay, you know, show more interest.
Yeah,
Then,
and you have to treat your client like a human, right? I mean, the moment you stop taking their calls, or the moment you kind of say that, okay, it's 5 p.m., don't call me, it just becomes
We're in a service industry.
Exactly,
Service is
exactly.
like
Yeah.
the
Key,
word
yeah.
key. Yeah.
Okay, guys, so let's go to your initiatives, which is PB Homes and Pod, which is absolutely incredible. I would like you to address our audiences and tell them exactly what all of this is about.
So, BB Home for me, you know, happened in lockdown. I think lockdown mein there was, you know, a lot of time, and you know, I was doing a lot of research. I also happened to go to Makrana and meet someone there, and I stumbled upon just so many beautiful Indian stones. And my first question was like, why don't we use Indian stones
We
in
don't,
home
right?
interiors?
Yeah.
Eventually I did realize that, yeah, when you compare it to say an Italian finish, it doesn't really, you know, match up, and that creamy finish is so
Yeah.
loved by so many
Yeah.
people, right? Though my heart was set on it, and we had, I think we were doing some two main project handovers, and we needed these interesting pieces of art, objects. We were like, okay, how should we get this organized? How should we go about it? And it was lockdown, it was difficult. And we just ended up making something
Wow.
for ourselves, and that actually was the initiation of PB Home, not realizing that I would do it. And honestly, I didn't start it with the idea of retail. It is more of a catalog, or you know, a series of things that we really made, objects we made, we love, and we started putting it on a page. And it only makes me so proud that, you know, it's being looked at, we're getting queries, we're getting invitations for it. So yeah, I'm very happy that I'm able to sort of put the Indian materiality, the Indian story out there in some way. So yeah.
And what's the next step for PB Home? Is there a plan? Because the products are amazing. Everything that you've curated in it is gorgeous. I shouldn't call it a product actually.
These
a
are
piece.
objects
Yeah.
of
It's art.
desire.
It's
Yeah,
art.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
art,
So,
I said it before I could get
yeah.
corrected.
So the idea is to, you know, be out there globally in galleries. That's the
Yeah.
idea and the hope and the dreams, to put India out there.
Lovely.
Yeah, but in terms of, if you ask me if I have a hardcore retail plan, I don't really have. I am letting it surprise me, because as we speak, we're working on projects, and as we work on projects, we're building more objects. So yeah, I'm waiting for it to surprise me, one step at a time. But if you all need any objects, I'm here for y'all.
But I'm so glad you at least introduced, because it's the first time
Yeah,
we
she-
discussed
yeah.
her
Yeah,
product line,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
amazing.
She's been very like
Secretive
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, this is something I get so much, right? And my team keeps telling me, Kumpal, we've not done a founder story on our page forever. I'm like, yes, and I commit to it, and I don't do it.
Now
and I'm
this
just
is
glad
now-
that I'm here and I'm
Yeah.
talking about PB
This is your
Home. So,
founder
yeah,
story now.
Yeah.
Nishita, Pod, it's absolutely incredible. It's doing so
Yeah.
well. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so I think Pod for me was that need to kind of zoom into my, you know, kind of the diversity of our kind of design field, where every time you're doing architecture and interiors, you're at like, you know, macro level, and then you then want to zoom in into the micro level details of furniture pieces, how one sits and stands and holds and touches. So the need to create like a furniture line was there. What furniture line was the big question, because I mean, in the market, you know it's flooded with people who are doing tables and chairs and side tables,
Yeah.
and you know the same kind of product over and over again.
Yeah.
So how do you break this huge market was like a big question for me in the smallest possible way. I'm not competing with like the giants there. I'm competing with like the smaller Indian homegrown
Yeah.
brands. I mean, that's what I want to be known as. And swings in India is, I think, culturally one of the most important furniture pieces.
Every project that
every
you do,
single
someone
It's
asks
like
for-
oxygen
Yeah.
to each
Not just
household.
one, people ask for 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Everybody has some nostalgic kind of event with a swing, if it's their grandmother on a swing telling them stories, or them playing on a swing. So it is one of the most emotionally emotional pieces of furniture for people. So we thought we'll kind of develop an entire furniture collection around swings. And we wanted to completely give it a whole new look. I think we introduced Swings 2.0
And I
in
loved it.
pod.
I loved
So
it's
yeah,
amazing.
that for
Pieces
us
of
is pod.
desire.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pieces of desire. Beautiful stuff. Yeah,
Thank
both
you
of
so much.
Tell me, where do you guys get your inspiration from? Do you all read? Is it some art movement that you derive inspiration from? A film maybe? Or is it just the human perspective, or just in general? Like,
I love people watching.
Yeah.
That's where I get my inspiration from.
That's why I said the human perspective.
Yeah,
because I read about
lot-
that.
I mean, just people watching, knowing the quirks of people and the peculiarities and all. It's amazing because sometimes you see somebody doing something strange and you'll be like, हाँ ऐसा भी होता है, and then maybe you'll think in some other lateral direction, and in the strangest moments of your life you'll come up with like the best ideas. I mean, like our best ideas have happened in like
I feel sometimes
weird
I'm dreaming
places.
about ideas.
Yeah.
In the bathroom, it's I don't know
For
what
sure.
it is
Yeah.
about
For sure,
the bathroom.
in the bathroom.
It just comes. And
I'm fighting with contractors in my head in the shower. it's changed now. I'm like, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this.
I've had moments when I've woken up and something came to my mind and I've just quickly sketched it. So
Yeah.
when I really wake up, I remember
it's a way
it.
of life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You just get first trained,
Yeah.
then you work. I think you just
Yeah.
develop a voice, and that just comes to
And
you
it
that
comes
okay,
to you.
this needs to be done.
And I think after a certain point of time, it can't be helped. Like no matter how, like I said that I want to take a break for a day. One day I don't want to answer calls. That it just doesn't happen.
That's never gonna happen.
It just because I'm just like, should I call? Should I call? Is a painting done? It's just.
But it's not about you wanting to call also. It's just that your mind is constantly
Yeah.
working.
And you feel
know what I mean?
responsible, no? That
Yeah.
oh, is this done?
Yeah.
Is my, it could
Yeah.
be my vision taking shape or no, or is this done on time or
We're
no?
so emotional about all our projects. That's the
That
problem.
one needs to control a little.
That's
It's
gonna
not
happen.
happening,
That's
but
not
one
gonna
needs to
happen.
control.
Yeah,
But I
because-
guess that is the exact space where these things are
No, but also
germinating
because
out
I
of,
think
right?
Kumpal, both of us see our practices not as factories. We see
Yeah,
it as
we
design
don't.
studios.
Yeah.
Because each
which is
of the
very
projects
serious about
are
its
so
profession.
unique. Each one is like
Yeah.
And we
it's-
spend that kind of time decoding the client, the journey, the story,
Yeah.
and then dishing it out. We take about 2 months to just sort of
Style
make
it and
sure
plan.
that the design is A to the T.
Yeah.
Only then we're going into the BOQ, the drawings, all of that. So that takes time, but if you do that well, then you're assured that
Then
the
life
rest of the
becomes
journey is
easier,
going to be
right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
So you all prepare your drawings, your 3Ds, everything beforehand, and only then kind of approach your work. Is that like a common template that you follow, or
I would say 80%.
80%.
There is
We
always
We try.
there's always you
yeah,
know.
हाँ हम अगले हफ्ते start करते हैं.
Yes.
Team ready है.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but
one
one
tries.
had one like weird like thing where everything was ready and suddenly I think it was just this eureka moment where like we thought that this one thing in design which would change the entire layout
Yeah.
and everything would just
But that
be so
happens
good.
when we're selecting,
Yeah.
right? Then finally
Yeah.
that part where you're selecting, one of my recent clients were like, कुंभल आप और एक नया डिजाइन लेकर आए हो, कुंभल आप एक और नया
हाँ.
डिजाइन लेकर आए हो. I'm like, listen, you should be happy that I'm
Yeah.
getting like these new ideas and
Yeah.
let's execute them. So you also need a mad client to believe in this madness
Yeah.
of yours. So,
yeah, absolutely.
And you kind of start getting them as you grow in your career. Initially, it
Absolutely.
becomes a little
Yes.
Yeah. My last one gave me a full 1 year to design and I was so happy. Like,
Just to
Really?
design.
Nishita,
ना?
tum artist ho.
Wow,
You take your
yeah.
time.
What is this? What is going
good.
on?
Wow, man, I need this in my life.
I know. I
but
just need
I
more
am
of these in
doing
my
it.
life.
Yeah.
That's
But
it.
no, don't you feel impatience? Like I feel impatience. Like beyond a certain threshold of design, I'm like,
I think this
but
client
this is good.
Really good.
ठीक है. Okay, guys. So before we jump into a really fun game segment, which also involves a hamper, right? So I hope you guys are competitive about
excited.
it. Yeah, I want to talk about sensory experiences in projects. In fact, Nishita, you won the Charles Correa Gold Medal for the same in your dissertation.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's that student. And,
Became.
and I clearly am not. Yeah, so I want to talk about when your projects clearly focus on visuals, but they also focus on sensory aspects like touch, feel. So how do you navigate around this entire process? How do you convince a client that it is not just how the space looks, but how it also feels? Like as simple as say walking on actual terracotta rather than on a terracotta tile, or using kota instead of a grey flooring, like things like that. So how do you navigate around these in your projects and convince clients of the same as well?
I think, we're creating homes or spaces where people spend the rest of their lives creating memories. And design is so human-centric in that way because it's all about our emotions and how we feel, how something kind of smells and, feels to your body when you touch it. So every time we get into a project, and for whoever thinks that, projects are just done on mood boards is completely wrong, because we ensure that clients walk on that wooden floor that they're purchasing and they touch that wall surface or that tile that they're buying, and that's really important because what may seem nice and pleasing to me may not be pleasing for you. And I think that's really important, like physical, touch and feel, and the tactility makes the world of a difference. Like, maybe I love the curve on the sofa and somebody else may hate it and want it completely straight. So I think with each project,
Indians just appreciate that, right? Like the touch and feel will never go out of fashion.
Absolutely.
But to add to this, I feel like the video part, the video taping of your projects and just making, so we sitting in our studio, we would always think about, hey, so maybe an Emerald 73 project, it is about the vibe. It's not honestly just about the materiality. How do we make the client feel this emotion that we're feeling? So I would say such a beautiful thing has happened, which is the videotaping helps you get that to the audiences, that this is what this story is about. This is what the whole experience could be about. So yeah, it has become slightly easier to put that across.
Yeah. And now we're going to have a very, very interesting game segment. It's a quiz round. So I'm going to ask a question. You both have your very mature buzzers. You can test it if you want. Whoever squeezes the buzzer first gets to answer. If you get the answer wrong, you have to have a shot. And at the end of the game, the winner gets a hamper.
I have a feeling I'm drinking them all.
Anyway. What's in the hamper? I'll be a
like really good stuff.
Is it worth
like
it?
It's fancy. Yeah, like everybody calls
then
me.
she can drink all of it.
Like
I'll drink.
I think post each episode I've got a call saying who has prepared this hamper.
Amazing.
Yeah, so you all will like
Done.
it.
Amazing.
Right? Okay, so I'm gonna start, okay guys?
Okay, wait. So we have to buzz and then drink.
No.
If
So
we
you
get
you
it,
buzz.
If we don't get it, then we have to
Yeah.
drink. Whoever
And
doesn't
if-
get it
yeah.
has to drink.
And if either of y'all don't get it, then both of y'all drink.
Amazing.
I just want people to have the shots.
Yeah.
The very healthy chia, cucumber and something. shot.
Chale.
I'm glad.
Yum.
Yeah.
Hamper ke liye kuch bhi kare.
हाँ. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Which interior design style is characterized by bold geometric patterns?
Art deco.
Correct. Before I could even
I
use the
am
options.
just going to be losing this.
Wow.
You really want me to like?
Yeah,
do
you
the
have
whole
to
thing?
like go for it. Yeah.
I'm
and
all
make a-
about slow life. I can't do fast.
Calm me create.
She'll get maximalist project offers. Listen, this is cheating, huh?
Guys, this
The
is
whole
like
purpose of this.
Yeah.
in this much all your shots could have been
Get
done.
only half the hamper.
ठीक है.
I'm not getting it.
Which of these buildings is not classified as a traditional skyscraper? The Shard, London, Burj Khalifa, Dubai, the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur, or the Space Needle in Seattle?
The Shard.
I would think it's the Shard, but I'm not sure.
No, Space Needle.
Oh.
Because it's not a building only, na? It's that weird angular thing. So you have to have a shot.
Wow. Where did you get this fun fact from?
My
Where did you
team.
get that?
No.
You answered first.
Okay. Who of these people is credited with popularizing the open floor plan in modern homes? Frank Lloyd Wright, Philippe Stark, Elise de Wolfe, or Rene McIntosh?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was easy.
Yeah.
If you could just do it slowly.
Yeah.
I can't
you
cope
can't-
up
you
if
can't
she didn't
accept- yeah.
like competitive as me sitting next to
This is like, now.
Yeah, listen, you have to fight for the hamper, man. Come on. Which interior feature commonly found in historic homes involves intricate designs or moldings around the ceiling? Baseboards, vein coating, crown molding.
Crown molding.
Correct. This is getting close. 2-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll have to help me out because I'm goofing up the game again. The point system, they've yelled
I will
at me.
not let that happen.
Listen, they've yelled at me.
She
there.
wants the hamper.
I will not let that.
Okay. The city of Venice is famous for its canals and bridges. What type of foundation was used to support its buildings?
Wooden beam structure, wooden immersed in the...
Unreal!
Wow, dude, wow.
Unreal!
Man,
No,
I
why
was-
am I drinking?
While I was reading this question, I was panicking. I'm like, what is this question? I'm glad I'm not sitting there.
Yeah.
So now it's
but
2
I
all.
also went there and we had a walk, so I know. Yeah.
Wow, now it's 2-2.
Yeah.
Architect is the will of an epoch translated into space. Frank Lloyd Wright, Mies van der Rohe, Walter Gropius,
Mies van der Rohe.
no.
Philippe
Lee
Stark.
Corb.
Oh no!
Lee Corbusier.
Damn it!
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
both are
damn it.
drinking.
Oh my god!
No, but you don't have
buzzed.
to have it. No, she buzzed it. So that means you're.
She's really excited
Yeah.
to drink.
So
is
now you're
nice.
leading.
This is nice.
Now you're leading.
Oh really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
She's not leading. They're still on 2 all.
Okay, fine. We're,
Love, do love.
okay, so 2-2. Okay.
Yeah. Is this a tiebreaker?
Yeah, let's do this as a
Okay,
tiebreaker.
okay,
Okay. Which of these architectural landmarks has a replica in Las Vegas but is significantly smaller in scale? The Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower.
Wow, man, that was.
Is
a-
there in Kanakya, Paris?
Listen, you won, na, Kumpal?
I'm the underdog.
Oh my
I'm the
god,
underdog.
that is crazy.
2 more questions.
Kumpal, you won. Sorry, Nishita. That's amazing, guys. That was lovely. That
I want to
yeah,
thank
please.
Nishita.
For losing. Our gift hamper is sponsored by our brands.
Amazing.
Highbeck Kitchen
Thank
Studio in
you.
Turquoise.
Thank you so much.
Yay.
It was great. Thank you.
At least let me see what it is.
Oh yeah.
Can you share a little?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wow, I like them cross.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Kumpal, on winning the game and the hamper. I'm just saying it so she feels worse about it. She almost won and then you
Real
like came back.
underdog here.
Yeah, that was a crazy comeback. Huh? That was like a underdog. I don't know why I'm calling you an underdog. Sorry.
No. I'm the underdog in this rapid fire.
Only person who's an underdog is me. When she spoke about 2-3 jhulas on site, I was like, आधा मेरे side पे आधा fit होगा. Okay, guys. So coming back to a few questions that I want to address. Firstly, local artisans. We have started using them more and more. And what is your take on that? Using local artisans in projects. Do you feel like we need to focus on them on every single project, or do we kind of use them based on a design ideology? How does this work for you all?
I think we've come like a long way from thinking that it's only the imported brands and the
Yeah.
international designers who are bringing in the best on the table. It's if you get into the deepest parts of the country, you will be shocked to see that some of the best works that the international designers are doing are actually coming from India.
Yeah.
Once you see that, you can't unsee it, because I mean, and it's then that you realize the potential of your own country. I think it's only around 2 years back that we bought our first imported piece of furniture for a project. Otherwise, we were so happy and still are so happy using Indian products. I think India is here now. It's arrived at a global platform to compete with the rest of the world.
With our practice, what remains like a constant is celebrate these local craftsmen, bring them to the forefront through design, through art, through their weaves. I in fact encourage the clients that if you have something that you bought from some of your travels, anywhere from India, a fabric, whatever it is, show that to us. Maybe we can use it. So I feel like it should be like breathing.
Yeah.
It should not even be a discussion.
It should not
that,
be forced. It
yeah,
just,
yeah, like it's available to us so freely.
Yeah.
Why not sort of ride with this? And I think that's where the PB Home chapter in our lives also came in,
Yeah.
wherein we were like, let's pick like one element and weave those stories.
Yeah.
and it just adds so much character to spaces, right? Like it just changes the dynamic because each piece is unique and you don't get to see it again and again, and you don't get to see them very often in international publications. What has happened is we keep deriving from what we see, say, in a European culture and an Americanized culture.
Exactly,
And forget
culture
our
and
roots.
our stories. When you enter
Yeah.
these homes and you see something from our, you know, maybe from Shimla, from say Banaras, you know, we all understand where that weave, where that product is from, and then we all instantly connect.
Absolutely.
I
So
had
that
this-
needs to be there.
I had a client who, his village home basically, they had kind of raised to the ground, and he had these columns outside his door, which had these really beautiful carved horses in wood. And I looked at it and I was like, let's cut this, get it on site, and use it as a and it looks so gorgeous in the pictures. You know, it's absolutely incredible, and I feel like designers should empower this and kind of push forward with it.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And I think it's the designer's job to do that in the project.
Yeah, we have to push for it. We have to, and it looks gorgeous, you know. Like, I mean, just even not just the artisans, but even local materials, you know, like terracotta, Jaisalmer stone, kota, none of like these materials need to be further recognized. And I think not just focusing on local artisans, but even local materials, you know, like terracotta, kota, Jaisalmer stone.
Yeah,
So
and these
beautiful.
products are just so sexy
Yeah.
and authentic and tell a story about us, where we came from, and it decodes that past. And why wouldn't you want to use something like that where you yourself can be proud of that product? You know the history, geography of that product. You don't have to pretend to sort of know it. You know it. It was a part of your fabric growing up.
contextual also, you know.
Exactly.
And when you talk about it, it just feels
It was
great.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like recently, for one of my projects, I told my client that let's do a kota flooring in the entire living room, and she said yes, and I was like, what? And she said yes, and I was like, wow, this happened. And then I was so excited about it. I tell everybody, including y'all,
Yeah.
I'm doing a living room with kota flooring.
But that is absolutely stunning, right? In
Yeah.
2022, when we did this house called Shibui and we did that kota flooring, I couldn't believe this was happening. That there's a client who's agreeing to use kota in the entire floor without any Italian marble. I'm not dissing Italian marble, it has its own beauty,
charm.
but I feel we have like a plethora. We have a huge library of materials that we could dig into and create wonders.
That's amazing. Thank you for the beautiful answers, guys. Also, now moving forward to your studio practices, both of you strongly enforce women empowerment and promote it. So how does that work? How do you all do this? And could you tell us a little bit about it?
I do feel at some point, you know, the industry is more biased towards men. You know, how many times, like you know, we've got calls saying that, hello, sir, and I'm like, are you listening to my voice?
Really?
Am I a sir? No, you know, interior designers
Yeah,
and
that is
architects
such
can
a-
also be men, and I think that's just made me so much more stronger. I think and also it's so that your voice is heard. You know, I mean, it's really important for that to happen. So, you know, helping other female designers or people who come to work with us, you know, it just became a way of life for us, you know, and I think it's really amazing to see after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years or 5 years when they leave your office and go towards, you know, their own practice. I mean, they're just so much more stronger, independent. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, because you have nurtured and made them
Yeah.
derive their strength from you,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So it's
One of the
important.
best like feedbacks I got from from an intern who left us in 6 months. They come to us for 6 months internship. They're like, Nishita, I'm such a confident person today. You know, when I'm leaving the office, and thank you for bringing that, you know, in me. And I think that was amazing.
And there's a constant, an unsaid fight, right? When these, you know, they start their journey in the profession to go to site, there's fear. There is so much confusion.
Yeah.
You sort of build them up, send them there. They achieve that first year. That first year sort of just changes them. The person who entered the day one, their day one,
Is a very
and the
different
person that
person.
exists on the, you know, last day is completely different. So that itself makes me really proud. And it is an, you know, I'm honestly very confused also, very candidly. When you talk about interior designing, you think about women.
Yeah.
You think about glamour, right?
Yeah.
But then
It's
all of
true.
a sudden you also internally think about, oh, is it a profession by men, women? Who is it by? So
yeah.
there is just so much confusion around this. But internally you do recognize the fact that every day you're being called a sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you question why.
Yeah.
can only, you know, men be in like these leading positions, but it's changing, and you know,
For sure.
yeah,
I think.
That's amazing. I think even us as a studio, we get that, where I'm supposed to be making the technical drawings and the women in my office are supposed to just be doing the creatives and the styling, but that's not true at all,
Yeah.
because everybody is doing everything, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we need to move forward from these assumptions, because to each their own, you know. So
But I also want to point out that this profession is one of the few professions which is so women empowering
It
in
is.
general.
It is.
Like
I
you can
agree.
explore, you can express,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can be bold, you can be yourself. So, and it's been like that
yeah,
for a very long time.
that's amazing, guys. Thank you so much. Now we shall move into our final segment, which is also a game, right? It's a rapid fire,
Yay.
and our brands have some gifts for you as well for that.
Fine.
And now for our final segment, which is a rapid fire. So I'm going to ask each of you a set of 8 questions, and then you get a hamper from our brands. Okay? So should we start?
I have one more chance.
Yes, you have one more. I am getting stressed now. I am worried. Guys, she better win. Sorry.
This is too bad, yeah. Earlier y'all
I'll-
weren't rooting for
I'll
me,
just-
now y'all are not rooting for
I'll
me.
just mess up your
Very
name.
bad, Karan.
Listen, if she wins, we'll just mess up her name on camera. Nishita, we'll start with you, okay? Glass facades or traditional bricks?
Traditional bricks.
What's a building that surprised you in real life? She's not going to help you.
Name your project, no?
Can I secretly say it's my space that I did for a client? It's the project Arya, which I'm absolutely in love with right
Lovely.
now.
Okay. Would you rather restore an old building or create a new one?
Restore an old
Lovely.
building.
Who said form follows function?
I couldn't have forgotten this. This is the Bible of architecture.
They're telling me I said it.
Now thank God I'm
My
not
team
an
is telling me
architect.
मैंने बोला है. मैंने बोला अच्छा. Okay. Louis Sullivan.
Okay.
Favorite floor plan layout?
Certainly not the open plan.
Okay. Which building do you consider a masterpiece?
Of late, I think that beautiful one that Studio Lotus has made in brick is beautiful.
What's your current design obsession?
I'm currently obsessed with using wood in different textures.
Lovely. Wow, that's a interesting one.
Yeah.
You shouldn't share your trade secrets with us.
It's not, you won't be able to get there.
Okay. What's your most memorable piece of feedback you've received on a design?
I'll tell you, it's actually not something nice, but it's an interesting anecdote. Is the very first competition I did in my life, the design competition. I lost on that because the judge told me that I'm such a terrible designer because I couldn't hide the AC.
Wow.
And that hit me so hard.
Really?
And after that, like 10 years down, I've ensured that the AC looks good in every single project, or it's photoshopped out when I submit it for a design competition.
Yeah.
I mean,
Peak.
good-looking services need to be affordable also.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to please solve for good fans at an affordable price point.
Yeah,
And good-looking high-wall AC.
Yeah, and I think architects and interior designers deserve free fans since we're at it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, send them
That's a
over.
good idea.
Yeah, might
Always.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nishita. Okay, Kumpal, it's your turn now. What's the first thing you notice when you enter a new building?
The services. You know
How
how
well the AC is
how
hidden.
everything, building,
Acha, like the overall.
overall
We
aesthetic.
That's
designers are
interesting.
those people, and we'll touch
हाँ.
every table,
Yeah,
and see
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But
कौन सा
honestly, I
material
don't
है.
care to notice too much.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay
That's a
not
lie.
noticing.
Yeah.
Like I walk
just
into,
okay,
if I
just
walk into someone's
peacefully
house, I
walking.
look at the ceiling and I'm like, crack, leakage. Start
I
होना नहीं
don't
होगा.
anymore.
I am
I don't anymore.
मुझे ना पूछे मैं कैसे solve करूँ.
Okay, anyway, what's your design pet peeve?
Everything just needs to have like this super finishing, which I don't know which contractor will ever achieve, but
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, the prices keep going up, but the finish remains the same.
I
It's
agree.
become an
Yeah,
issue.
yeah.
No, I mean you can get amazing
Yeah.
finish, but
You
it's really
can, and
cost.
there are.
Yeah. And you
So
have to
currently we're
micromanage
working
it.
with this one guy who's amazing, but
Yeah.
this guy just works directly with clients. So
Ah.
I found him through a client, and I'm like, dude,
Oh, he doesn't work with designers.
he doesn't. He doesn't work through people. He just works directly.
They are his pet
He
peeve.
is like the Shah Rukh Khan of finishing. But yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah, even I want. Okay, but he doesn't work with designers.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
हाँ, ठीक है.
Nishita is figuring it
Yeah.
all out
We'll
for
pretend
us.
like we are the client.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your biggest inspiration outside of design?
Just life experience, going through life every day and taking in a little bit. Yeah.
My answers at this point were much better.
Just shut up. My answers gotten
Guys.
y'all involved.
Yeah.
This is a plug into the audience.
My answers have gotten y'all involved, guys.
Name a famous building you dislike.
That fish
All
building
that's
in
This is
Hyderabad.
not
Oh my
a
god.
Fish.
I was going to say that, you know, all these buildings that keep cropping up these days, and generally in the last 10 years, if you
Yeah.
see, there have been a lot of like these, I don't know what's happening
The
with
USB
the
shaped one.
urban scene of cities in India. It could definitely be better. Yeah.
Okay. Name 3 art movements starting from the letter R.
Yeah, don't put me on the spot.
Yeah, even I got a tough one like that.
I don't know. Skip.
Renaissance.
Romanticism.
Romanticism also.
हाँ,
Oh,
art
really?
movement है.
Realism.
Realism. हाँ, correct.
Good one.
Realism also.
Rustic, whatever.
Rusticism.
It's
Ruralism.
हाँ.
Yeah.
चलो ठीक है.
We're sounding so dumb,
Yeah.
but it's okay,
Yeah.
guys.
No, yeah, this is tough.
Yeah.
Even I got only one in my
Yeah,
mind.
इसको भी नहीं पता.
I thought, yeah, romanticism.
But I feel my answers are like killing it.
The team
I've
will
been
decide.
extremely entertaining.
Yeah,
No.
you all have
Yeah.
to decide. You all
It's
have
all
to
about
decide.
entertainment.
I am not taking a call because I don't want to build enemies here. I think you both are great. I feel like both of you all should
Good
have
answer.
hampers.
इसको hamper दे दो.
इसको आना.
दे दो यार मेरे को brands ना
दे
मुझे
दो.
plug दे रहे हैं hamper दे रहे हैं. Hello guys,
ये
there are
सबसे
my
ज़्यादा
gifts.
stress
Yeah, perfumes and all these guys are getting. I'm not getting anything. I feel so bad. Okay, a material you've never worked with but want to.
Dried grass, hay, I've never worked with, and I want to in some form work with it, and also banana fiber. They're on
Nice.
my hot
Yeah.
list.
Nice, interesting. What's your go-to design book?
It's a Japanese book. I just remember the cover. It's very beautiful. I'm trying to buy
Is
it,
it a
but it's
publication?
always it's always out of stock. So that.
Tell us the most bizarre comment you've received on your work.
Oh yeah, like on the topic of white. Oh, you only design white spaces. And then so I thought, okay, maybe the client doesn't want white.
Yeah.
And then they go like, but we love white. We want this white, that white, everything white. And
Because
I'm
you
like,
do white.
oh, so I am the perfect fit. So it was like a very confusing, yeah.
Comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kumpal. Guys, I think we have Nishita, who is the winner of
This
this
is
round.
cheating. This
No,
is
it's
cheating,
not.
cheating,
It's
cheating,
not.
cheating.
No, she gave quicker answers. Yeah, you took too long.
Yeah, this was
she
about
took too
rapid
long.
fire,
and
guys.
The fish answer also she
I got
gave
the
you.
Arey, but I didn't ask her to give. No, she's giving.
Okay, so we have a hamper by Turquoise.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Very well deserved. Thank you, Kumpal,
I
for being
yeah, we can chat about
and
a
it.
great loser.
And the Turquoise has prepared a surprise for y'all,
lovely.
which you all could maybe unwrap on camera once they give it to you. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
I haven't got one yet.
That's
but
hint,
yeah,
guys. Hint,
yeah,
hint.
that's a hint.
Not a very subtle hint.
Oops.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So are we unwrapping
Yeah,
it
yeah,
together?
unwrapping it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, wait, I'm trying. Ooh, that is so cool.
That is
That's actually
really
really
That
nice,
is so
guys.
cool. I've
Look
never
at this,
seen
guys.
this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
This is lovely, guys.
amazing.
That's amazing.
Lovely, guys. Lovely.
Very cool.
It was absolutely incredible having you on board with us. Thank you so much, guys. Before we sign off, I'd like you to address our audience directly and share a little message with them.
Thank you so much, Karan, for having us. It was super fun. So I think I would like to sign off with this one idea that don't forget to back yourself through it all, especially in this profession, any creative profession. So yeah, go ahead, back yourself.
Firstly, thank you so much for having us here and in this beautiful space as well. And I think the last words here would definitely be that I hope everyone finds their own voice and their own space in this fraternity, because I strongly believe there's a space for everyone here.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure having you all here. It's a wrap.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank-
I'm gonna turn this placard around to look at the emojis on it and guess what the word is.
No, I'm not keeping this. No. How